She has carved a solid trail as a public servant, from executive mayor of Mangaung to gender relations work at Salga. She has proven herself a champion of the well-being of citizens. She's the founder of an NPO called Women of Virtue, an organization that renders assistance to women from disadvantaged backgrounds. Dibeela Mothupi now joins us for her reflections and thoughts this Women's Month. Dibeela, very good afternoon. Thank you for speaking to us. Let's talk, I suppose, a little about the achievements that you think women have achieved as far as women's rights are concerned.
Firstly, let me start by greeting your viewers, and thanks for having me. As I reflect and look back, I would say women are now getting more access to employment, even though I should say there still are challenges, though, that needs to be addressed in terms of ensuring that they get training for the job that they get. There are legislations put in place which facilitates women's access to employment, women's access to business opportunities. And women do have a right to vote, and they have a right to be represented, to elect and be elected into positions of power, that is being the positions where legislations are being made, your councils, your legislatures, and even the National Assembly. We even have female ministers, we have female mayors, we have female premiers. We even have in other areas female who are leading as chief directors in some departments, and those who are leading in other areas of work.
Now, as we celebrate Women's Month and obviously celebrate you and millions of other women in the country, just what do you think needs to be done in order to change the narrative, particularly around GBV? Now, statistics suggest that 51% of women have experienced gender-based violence at some point, and statistics also say up to 76% of men have perpetrated GBV.
I think we should not tire from continuing with raising awareness. And I believe this matter needs now the society, both men and women. We've been saying over years, women must speak out, women must speak when they are abused, women must speak when things are not going well. We've never said men must speak. I believe personally that it's about time that men themselves speak. Men must say to the society, what is it that is the problem that makes them hate women so much? Because I believe it's hate. You can't subject people to the kind of things that women, some women or most women are being subjected to. Men who rape, men who beat women up, and others even end up killing their partners. We must now engage as a society in talks with men, where men themselves come up and says, these are the challenges and this is how we can address this. Because you know that the government has come up with legislations that protects all human beings' rights in the country. And they have even gone further to protect women's rights from abuse. They've set up structures that ensures that women are protected. They've set up structures that ensures that even those who are abused get assistance, be it justice being done for them, and psychological assistance. But we have never come to a stage where we concentrate on the perpetrators and look at what it is that makes men so angry. So I believe that at the moment, we need to engage in talks with men within the society, both young men and old men, so that men can change their way of thinking and they can change their attitude towards women.
Now, they do say that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, whilst not advocating for it. My question is, what is not being done with young people, with children, with kids in schools? Surely this is where it should start. That if we can't convert the older generation, how about looking to the future? How do we protect tomorrow's women today?
If we are to include in the curriculum some education around gender equality, ensuring that we teach them from an early age to respect women, to treat women as equals. Because you know that there are some cultures, traditional cultures and religions, which enforces the oppression of women, and as a result, some even objectifying women. And as a result, it does not assist in ensuring that we change the narrative. If we are to include this in the curriculum, ensure that young men and girls are taught at an early age that men and women are equals, and women's rights are human rights, and that they respect them. The manner in which we bring our kids up also contributes. You would find that when children are at a very early age, toddlers, when we buy them toys, young boys are bought cars, they are bought guns, they are bought these mini soldiers, they are bought knives, these Rambo packs, and girls are bought dolls, they are bought these dishes and all sorts of kitchen stuff, which says you must grow up to become a mother. You must grow up to bear children. You must grow up to look after the family, cook, and make sure that you make household chores. And boys are taught at an early age that they must grow up and stand up for themselves. And worst of all, they are taught to become violent. Because once you buy a child a gun, when they grow up, they want to experience a real gun. And that's one of those problems. That's
Dibeela,
where it should start.
I'm gonna have to.
At our institutes.
Sorry, Dibeela, allow me to come in there. But I remember growing up playing cowboys and Indians, right? And shooting half my friends dead with makeshift guns. But I don't own a gun. I don't like a gun. I'm nowhere near guns. So I don't think it's entirely accurate. But I'm going to have to ask one more question. Now, we understand that you're investigating one of your male commissioners. What is the status there? And what does it speak about the challenges that you might even be facing internally in the Commission for Gender Equality?
On this one, in the interest of not compromising both commissioners, the complainant and the other commissioner, I would rather not comment on this one, because internal processes are still being exhausted on the matter. I might say something that might compromise either the process or the individuals involved. So I choose not to say anything on that one.
Okay, appreciate that. Before we let you go, you do have quite a decorated CV, and I know that there are thousands of young women that are watching the show at the moment. Words of encouragement on how to deal with the possible challenges that they face as they go up the corporate ladder. Well,
firstly, they must believe in themselves, and believe in themselves firstly as human beings, and not just see themselves as women being thrown out there. They must believe in themselves as human beings, and they must take all challenges as they come. And they must know that in this world, as women, as you climb up the ladder, you are expected to perform even 200% more than your male counterparts. It's unfortunate. It's because of our historical past. That's a challenge that comes with being a woman and climbing up the ladder. They must never tire. They must make sure that they learn and learn and learn. That is what is most important for them.
Dibeela Mothupi, Commissioner at the Commission for Gender Equality, having a conversation with us in this month where we celebrate women.